Alright, guys, this is Crowbar Zero. On to episode 20. Holy crap, I didn't even think I'd be able to get this far in this weekend. But yeah, I've got 30 more on standby about, so just hold tight, guys. If you did message me and I have not gotten back to you, don't say anything. Like you're in my DMs order. If you say something, it'll push you back in the line, and I don't want you being pushed back in line. Um, yeah, this has been absolutely nuts. It's been a blast working through these. Um, yeah, so right now we're working on Thrunkans, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And let's jump on it. So let's see. I see some red modules, some green modules. Yummy, yummy. Let's see. How are we doing with our cards? Okay. So we're getting there with the cards. And it looks like we still have a ways. So, as in a ways, we still need to get to purple. I don't see any. Got a little bit of a burp. Sorry, guys. It doesn't want to come out. Okay. Oh man, this is tough. So my gut is I would like to suggest working on cards first and try to at least get the commons and maybe like the uncommons like plasma cannon at least to like level 6 or 7. Here, let me just pull a plasma cannon really fast. Yeah, probably at least like level 6. I think that would be a really good goal because it kind of coincides with like thorns and maybe like an orb hit where pretty much a boss will come in, receive those hits, and then get heated on, hopefully by your thorns on your tower. Hopefully you don't have to take that damage very often, but yeah. Let's look at bots. Alright, so for the bots, you could start one level of your research for Antbot, and then after that level, or not at all. And honestly, probably not at all. I would just take the points out of Antbot and I would put it straight into Golden Bot. Antbot, for any sort of damage, you need consistency. And 20 seconds every 120 seconds, there's a huge 100-second gap where you're not getting that coverage, and it makes you a lot more vulnerable. So let's just stick that into your coins, make your coins make you a bunch of money, and profit. Um, so yeah, you're going to want to go with range and cooldown as your number one upgrades. And then I would say when things like this are costing like maybe twice as much or 3 times as much as duration, at that point maybe you can drip a little bit into duration. But cooldown and range are I would pretty much work on getting these pumped up, unless there's some sort of synchronization going on. In which case, I'm gonna have to look up at your ultimate weapons. All right. Okay, so it looks like we've got cooldown for GT. Hopefully that's on a multiverse nexus. We'll probably want another cooldown on Deathwave, and then some Deathwave quantity and getting more of that. So you've got constant coverage. You've got plenty of duration here on Black Hole for now. This would make sure on modules. What do we got? All right. So we've got defense percent, health regen, and thorns. Okay. So, we've got Golden Tower cooldown. We're going to not go with these other two. We're going to go with Deathwave cooldown. And are we going to go with SL angle and... Oh, man. SL angle or death wave quantity? Oh, bugger. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah, yeah, and there's no problems with like perma black hole and GT. Like, you see here, like you're almost pretty much there. The only thing that's really holding you back from having those permit is being mythic in both multiverse nexus, GCOM, and not having the ancestral cooldowns. But if you're able to get like the ancestral cooldowns and have death wave quantity, you'll have nearly 100% like uptime on all three of those. So yeah, that's what's holding you back from the that 100%. And then over here, you don't have package chance. That's also hurting your 100% uptime. So lots of room to grow here. So we really want module levels, reroll shards, a lot of reroll shards. We're gonna want a lot of reroll shards because, especially rolling substats on core modules, is absolutely painful and miserable experience. You're gonna need so many when you get to ancestral. Um, yeah. So, oh man. So for the time being, it's just kind of this like weathering of the storm. Do we just hang tight and know that we're in a shitty situation and just be like, all right, so we're in a shitty situation. We need to get our cards done, but we also need to get our modules done. And our modules are like really holding us back. Cards kind of holding us back, but at least when we're pulling for cards, we're not fighting with the RNG and the misery of all of that. Um, yeah, it's a tough spot, man. Oh, here we go. We've got all of the stuff here. How much more do we have to go? It looks like we've got another one here. So if I'm understanding what I see, if there's any more after this, so it's like one or two more more rolls of MVN that you need to roll to be able to get this to ancestral. And then what do we have? Um, mm, and then I'm guessing you probably need 4 copies of GComp. Dude, I feel for you, man. This is a hard spot. It's a really hard spot. So let's work on some things that are gonna get you there. Let's see, do we have an active labs that you're working on? I don't see an active labs, but yep, yep. Modules. Okay. Ooh, yeah. We're gonna go hard on some of these. We're gonna go pretty hard on some of these. You're gonna start with common drop chance. You're gonna max that out. You're gonna go into rare drop chance. The rare drop chance is also gonna help you get the rare modules, so you don't have to roll for them. So when you're combining stuff, this makes your life a whole lot easier. Uh, and then you're just pretty much praying to get the natural epics, and then I would focus on reroll shards, followed by daily mission shards. And given where you're at, I would probably push these so you're doing 2 lab slots. I think you're going to get the most out of 2 lab slots, at least trying to chug through this. Let me see. I think this is towards... So you're going to want a permanent lab speed. Absolutely permanent that until you get that finished. Looks like you've got some other stuff that are maxed out. That's good. I'll get a drink of water here. When you have the time to revisit that, I would get this up to, break into the 40s, and then maybe bring a super crit chance, a multi up to level 4. Orb boss hit, orb speed, both of those are really important. I would work on those. Those are going to take percentages off your boss health, and orbs just being able to go faster is just going to kill a lot more enemies. Yep, we went over that a little bit. You're working on wall fortress levels. Yeah, what you have right here, I would take that out and put it into module stuff. Like your the number of module levels that you have is holding you back right now. Just putting it into those labs are going to set you up for the future. It's going to set you up for getting to where you need to as quickly as possible. So yeah, let's dump that one for at least one of the shard slots. Package chance. This is going to be very important, and actually this is very important for you right now. So lab speed, at least 1, hopefully 2 module slots, or lab slots are being used for module labs. You want package chance. That's going to make it so you've got more uses of your G comp. You already have package after boss. And if you don't already have the package card, you'll want to use that just so you're also making even more packages that way. Both of these are going to be extremely useful. And I think I saw baby smart missiles, so that's going to be super helpful as well. Okay, so you've got missile radius actually better developed than I was expecting. This actually surprises me. Like, you guys are surprising me. I saw the smart missile earlier, and I was like, oh man, that's going to be like, you're not even going to have this one done. And you've got that one done, and you're like midway through missile radius. It's freaking awesome. So yeah, keep this sucker going. I think you've got some GT duration labs that you're doing. That's okay, I guess. Let's see here. Do you have any more labs here that I haven't touched? That was the missile radius. Missile amp, that's going to be really important because that'll really Do a lot of chunky damage. You don't even have to worry about missile barrage. That doesn't do much for you. Um, I don't even know if I'm gonna get the vault stuff to auto fire it. So just yep, yep, yep. And then just keep this in mind. But once you get those modules up a little bit, you can knock this one out. But also Death Wave damaging. Um, this is going to tremendously help your death walls stay up longer because enemies are going to be taking a lot less chunks of damage out of your health whenever they take hits from effect wave. And as far as like your modules go, like you're getting there, you're almost there. Where this is going to keep that death wave just rolling for a long period of time. So it's really good. Don't worry about ever getting DW plus. I would say this is more important than that, and then spotlight angle after that. Then maybe if for some reason you want to dump into that after you have 100% SL coverage, um, maybe you can after that. But this is actually really good. Um, yeah, I think we'll probably have some labs to do there. You're fine there. You probably just need the money for these, so you know it's fine where it's at. It is what it is. And it's probably fairly easy to max out anyway in a round, so that's like, whatever. If you're running the range card, or if you have ranged labs, I would take those off and knock that down to minimum. And then during a round, you might want to do rapid fire and attack speed with the target priority on prots and enemies within spotlight. So prots, enemies in spotlight, and then everything else starting from what's going to give you the most coins, what's going to give you the least coins. And that's just for farming. That's not for tournament. For tournament, just closer or closest enemy. Um, yeah. So we've got. Let me think here. So once you have mythic or ancestral G comp and uh, multiverse nexus with the cooldowns that I mentioned, with 32 seconds or plus the perk, that's going to give you 100% uptime on this. So you don't have to worry about investing any more into this for a very long while. Uh, just looking at everything. It's yeah, you've got some of the labs done for smart missiles, but not quite the. Let's let's get some of this knocked out. Excuse me. Let's get this knocked out. Let's prep you for Ultimate Weapon Plus. So I want you to go for max cooldown. Let's see here. Yeah, we've got G-Comp, so G-Comp's gonna throw G-Comp's gonna mess up the timing here. So eventually your goal is just to get this down as much as possible so it has as much uptime. I would say, yeah, let's focus on range and cooldown, pull the stuff out of there, and then you can work on bonus and duration. And we're just going to work more towards the 100% uptime thing right now. Yeah, I think this is the play. You've already got, just looking back or thinking back as far as like what you've got here. I mean, it's so close to like the 100% uptime kind of scenario anyway. So you might as well just go for having your coin bot up and running as much as possible. I don't think there's an easy synchronization kind of play that we can make right now. You're just going to run for 100% uptime on your coin bot, or not 100%, but 80% time uptime, because that's the best you can possibly get. Um, and then it'll go off and you'll profit when everything's kind of going all at the same time. And yeah. Yeah, Smart Missiles needs a lot of love. Get this up to the point where it's roughly killing enemies on its own, like pretty consistently, and maybe pushing you up a few waves. And then you're going to work on Chronofield. So this is sort of like a. I mean, you have the tools. It's just the drought period to build up Chronofield, get this going, get Smart Missiles really up and going fully. Uh, yeah, I would say let's permanent lab speed. At least one of the Smart Missile labs. We're gonna permanent Chronofield duration, and by permanent, putting that on permanent, um, I want that to get finished at level 30, so you don't have to spend as many stones trying to build up the duration. Because you have G-Comp, hopefully the majority of the duration labs are going to put you about where you need to be. If it's not, maybe just a few stones that you need to trickle into duration to get it up to like, the 40-second, 45-second duration window. And then you can knock down cooldown. And then once you have those two done, then you can knock down the speed reduction. And that's when you're going to start seeing like all of the time and effort doing this lab and the stones that you're going to bounce back and forth between duration and mostly in cooldown. Um, that's when that's going to shine. Is when you have that up 100% of the time. You get a lot of variance before then. Actually, right now it's just about not doing anything for you at the moment. Um, but yeah, I'm just looking at things, and it's like, well, we could go for like a, yeah, but we're so close to. I mean, with multiverse, Mm, no, Multiverse Nix is at this point is going to be a 1 second duration. And that's just going to throw everything off as far as timing. So I don't see any other modules. Um, yeah, that's tough. This is tough. It's like you just like you're in this drought period that you need to get the modules up to ancestral. You need to develop smart missiles. You need to develop chronofield. Once that's set up, man, you're good. You're good. That's just this painful period that you're in right now. It's just uh my biggest doubt is what to do with stones next. SL4, unlock chain lightning, or upgrade SM. And yeah, you already know that you need ancestral MVN and GComp. I would say let's upgrade SM. Let's upgrade Chronofield, and then see. I don't think. Do you have? So was it two more? Yeah, two more. So it looks like the remaining weapons are Chain Lightning and Inner Landmine. Oh, we do have pictures of your merchants. Uh, Give me a second. I'm just thinking. Is it? Um, so I feel like we might be able to get something going here. We've got some of the labs done. And when you respec, you'll be able to try to knock some of these down. So right now, maybe it's not. Let's say we're going to transition you into multiverse nexus. That is the goal. Um, but you've got a lot of pulls to do as far as cards and then modules as well. So let's give. Do I want to go with this suggestion? Do we have that? Okay, we have that at legendary. Um, let's see. Is there anything that you says how often you play? Okay, so you'll probably see this in the next when you wake up in the morning. Um, okay, so you are working on SL missiles for farm. Okay. So you're already kind of trying for that 100% uptime, kind of always killing things. I see why you. I mean, you still need. Let me pull this up a little bit. People can kind of see. Oh, that is not what I wanted. All right. Um. Windows is automatically doing stuff for me that I don't want it to do. Um, you're working on SL missiles for farm. Almost at 5 seconds. Okay, for then you got amp and radius. You want a little bit of damage for farming. Um, you could try this other strategy. It may work out better, may work out worse. Um, no, I think, especially for cells, I think MVN and GComp is just going to be your best bet. I had some other strategies in mind. I'm like, nah, you need as many cells as you can possibly get right now. So I think this is probably the best way to go. I think I might have covered everything. And yeah, once you get uh, these guys to ancestral, that will make a huge difference. You'll have everything at just about 100% uptime, especially if you can roll those substats. Uh, yeah. And let me just double check. What was it? Modules? I think you were up here. Um, yeah, you're already working on. Oh, this is. Oh, you're working on Deathwave coin bonus. Okay. Okay, that's spotlight missiles and coin bonus. Okay, that's going to be important. Without saying like what are your active labs, it's hard to say like, oh hey, let's divert this into this. But you're absolutely gonna want stuff into your modules so you can get those rerolled shards, common drop chance up ASAP. Okay, you don't have anything in labs for Golden Bot. Standard perk bonus, you're lacking on that. You want to get standard perk bonus maxed out. That's going to affect everything in your farm, the coins you make, how quickly, the next perk wave requirement thing comes up. Yeah. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff to work with. Let's take extra orbs, got that going. Coin bonus and spotlight missiles, those are really big. And that'll be really big for your farming. Missile amp. Yeah, I can't see all the. I hate to say it, let's take off Golden Tower duration. Let's take a break from that so we can get the missile radius. At least convert that one into something that's going to push your progress a little farther. We already talked about some of these. Your orb boss hit, orb speed. Yeah, let's take a little bit out of the, not do the health regen and let's knock out some other stuff. I need the orb speed or boss hit or the modules. Yeah, there's a lot there. hopefully you can kind of you've made notes so you can kind of put together a plan to go forward. Um, like you definitely have the right idea with some of the stuff that you've already done with Spotlight, uh, the missile aim, missile radius, all of that stuff. Max those suckers out because that's it's really good. The more radius you have, the more overall AOE damage you have. The more amp you do, the more damage you have. Um, sorry for the missile radius. The more area that hits, not only are you doing AOE damage, but you're able to amp on some of those enemies with that second hit a lot more easier. So don't discount missile radius. Like it's good. Um, and yeah, you're just in this drought period of you've got a lot of stuff going on. You've got the cards, you've got the modules. Modules are RNG, so playing with these and rolling here is gonna get you like visibly closer, and then you're playing with RNG when it comes to the modules. So, but you also need those. So, um, given that it's gonna take time to get the reroll shards, so where are we at right now? Yeah, we're at a pretty low amount of reroll shards right now. The amount that you're gonna need to roll ancestral stats. Oh man. And you need the levels to get everything that you need. Just yeah, I think really those two of I'm thinking you need to figure out maybe two lab slots, one for reroll, one for working your way through common, rare, daily shards, um, so you can get those module levels up. And you're just gonna want to save so many, like 3, 4, 5 million rerolls until you can get some of these up to ancestral. Like you need so many, and especially for the core, it's going to be even harder to roll everything on that. So just be prepared. It sucks. I'm hoping that this next version we get the rework on the substats. So hopefully that's a little bit easier, but even with the rework, so let's say, so I think he mentioned something like maybe we'll have something like a ban, like a common ban or something like that. I'm just throwing guesses out there, and things could change later on. But if there is something like a ban, maybe this would make it half as difficult, but still having something like just a ridiculous amount of reroll shards just for this to get what you need, it's going to be really rough. So yeah, let's prep for that. It's going to be hell. If you could get up to like 10 million reroll shards, maybe we're like, hey, this is a comfortable spot. But really far from that. So let's go into hoarding mode. Let's try to get as many as we can. Dedicate one for reroll shard drops. We're increasing those. And then another slot for the modules. And then everything else that I kind of mentioned. Lab speed. Chronofield duration. And then everything else, which is like, I think that only leaves you one extra slot. So at that point, that was that one extra slot. I think you're using that for Death Wave Coin. You can finish up with Death Wave Coin, put that into like Spotlight missiles, and then go right into the rest of the Spotlight or into the Smart Missile stuff. Yeah. And then once you're done with reroll shards, I would probably put that into like orb speed, boss orb hit, and then yeah, pretty much everything else from there. Anyway, I think that's about it for what I've got. Um, Wish I could say that there was an easy boom, do this, and you'll profit. But given everything I see, I think that's just not a realistic thing that I should be saying, and nothing that's a quick, easy grab that you can do to make a lot more. Um, I can't see if you're. Yeah, we're not far enough. Yeah. Okay, so you're not going with Death Ray. Maybe not go with orbs. And the reason why I'm saying let's not go with orbs, uh, and actually this might be the best advice that I can give you for quick gains. Um, Orbs will be killing enemies that are not in spotlight. So preferentially, you'll probably push targeting in spotlight as number one, and then everyone else down beneath that. And that includes maybe you could have prots a little bit higher, but other than that, I would just keep it in order of like who's going to give you the most coin. And then with that said, you could do rapid fire later on as you're going through a round. If you're not clearing out the black holes as much as you want to be, and enemies that are in spotlight, I would say rapid fire and then attack speed, just so you can focus on those enemies and get them killed ASAP while you've got all of those bonuses. And then if you need more after that for multi-shot, bounce, can, you'll probably start taking a dip once you start grabbing multi-shot and bounce chance. So it'd be like minimal range, it'd be rapid fire first, attack speed after that you're building up. Then maybe you could build up some damage per meter. I don't see that being a bad thing. Yeah. And you're just going to be like a spotlight machine gun. Just, any of the enemies are in spotlight. And hopefully you've got all your 100% uptime with everything and it carries you. Yeah. But as far as going permanent black hole and GT, it's the mods that are holding me back. Yeah. And then, yeah, I would upgrade smart missiles, especially the damage. So you're going to want that damage for especially spotlight missiles to be killing things for you. And then you can just knock these out later on. So in tournaments, you're just constantly, tournaments and farming. Eventually, you'll just be constantly spewing these out. Anyway, I think that's it. I think I'm just repeating myself over and over, so I'm going to stop that, and I will catch you guys later.